Hi everybody, my name's Steven. As part of FreshBooks' efforts to support you and create an extraordinary experience, we've developed a series of videos to help ease the transition between FreshBooks Classic and new FreshBooks. Today, I'm here to talk to you briefly about what has changed when you look at your reporting, your bank connections, and your transaction categorization. First off, the reports. Now, historically, Classic offered a wide range of reports to help you keep track of your business health, but it was missing the deep dive financial reports that let you see its true value, what your assets look like, what liabilities do you owe, how much equity are you carrying, and what is the real day-to-day movement in all areas of your business financial accounts. Now, on new FreshBooks, that gap has been filled. Beyond the suite of reports that you're accustomed to, like the invoice details report, or item sales, or the accounts aging summary, you will now see the following documents: the balance sheet, the trial balance, the general ledger, and a whole chart of accounts, which you can see if you go to the Accounting tab over here. Now, all of these reports, much like the other reports, offer a wide range of filtering options that enable you to drill down as needed or make comparisons with earlier periods. To make note of a particular improvement, the balance sheet in FreshBooks Classic was very much built from scratch. You or your accountant would have to do it every year. Now we've switched it up on new FreshBooks, and it just runs on its own according to the date or date for comparison that you specify. You can choose a custom date, you can pick today, you can pick last month, or you can pick last quarter. Now, you might also see here that we've introduced the ability to set a fiscal year, which is very, very useful. Now, you can do that by going to your settings menu, which is accessible at the top left of your account by clicking the gear icon. We go to the company profile, and from there, you will see fiscal year end. You'll pick a month, you'll pick a day, and then from then on, all of your filters will include this as a filtration option. Now, let's talk about bank connections. FreshBooks Classic offered the ability to connect your bank or your credit card, but the feature was limited by two issues: the technological capability of our bank import partner and the actual functionality of FreshBooks Classic as a whole. As a result, Classic could only import expenses and could only do so once a day in the morning. Now, on new FreshBooks, we can do more. Our partners on the new platform can import expenses, but they can refresh more than once a day. So depending on the posting speed of your bank or your credit card, you'll be able to see your transactions sooner. If you want to set up a bank connection or review it, you can do so from the settings menu and clicking bank connections. Expenses will filter into the expenses tab as before, and our partners will auto-categorize the expenses based on either the information from your bank or the settings you've applied to your account. For example, this expense from Canadian Tire, I have designated to apply to future expenses as supplies. So each time I get an expense from Canadian Tire, it should import as supplies every single time. Now, speaking of being able to do more on new FreshBooks, our bank reconciliation feature is where you can now keep track of your income, as well as the expenses from your bank. So in the Accounting tab, you'll see the bank reconciliation section. You just need to set an opening date and an opening balance, and then you'll be able to go in and start marking or matching things as appropriate. I have a disconnected connection here, but the bank reconciliation is still functional, so we're going to go take a look. We're going to click left to match, skip the auto matches for now, and then we will be in the bank reconciliation portal. On the left side, you will see the bank transactions. On the right side, you will see the FreshBooks transactions. All you have to do is match them up. So for example, this expense from Enterprise Canada on August 11th can be matched up with its counterpart on the right side of FreshBooks. You'll see the numbers match. We can hit match, and this expense will be reconciled into our books. Similarly, a positive amount can be matched with the FreshBooks counterpart. So if I had an income transaction that was $124, I could match it up on FreshBooks, and that would also end up in our bank as well. Now, do you remember those pesky credit card payments and bank transfers that had to be considered expenses? Or capital infusions and withdrawals that don't really qualify as income or expenses? Or expense refunds that had to masquerade as expenses or as income? You can consider those as things of the past. Bank reconciliation now offers you the ability to mark transactions accordingly. So for example, I have this positive transaction, and I could mark it as a transfer between bank accounts, I could mark it as owner's equity, or I can mark it as an expense refund. And you will see the change in your bank and in your general ledger. Now, regardless of whether you're marking or matching things up, this process ensures that there is a specific account in your chart of accounts and your general ledger where everything will go, as opposed to clearing through the petty cash account. So if we go into our accounting tab and we open up our chart of accounts, we will see all of the activity under here under credit cards for our Scene Visa card, making it nice, neat, and tidy, and most of all, accurate. And that's all the new stuff for the accounting side of FreshBooks. If you'd like to learn more about how things have changed when it comes to invoicing, accepting payments, managing your clients, or tracking your time, please be sure to check out the other videos in this series. Thank you for your time today, and I hope your experience with new FreshBooks is nothing less than extraordinary. Stay fresh!
There, everybody. My name is Alex, and I'm here to help you along with the new FreshBooks today, and going to show you a couple of the new features that we have to offer within the new FreshBooks. So we're going to be going through proposals today and adding e-signatures to them. I'm going to show you retainers, as well as some of the ways that we have that you can stay connected with your clients within the new FreshBooks. So to get started with proposals, we'll take a look here at estimates on the left-hand side. And from there, if you're familiar with Classic, you'll see the list of estimates, but we also have proposals. Now, if we go to Create New, and we can create a new proposal, I'll show you a few of the differences here. Now, with proposals in the new FreshBooks, they do look similar to estimates at a first glance, with the ability to have our logo here in the top left, all the information about our business, scroll down Prepared For, and we'll pick a client. In this case, we'll click John Doe here, and all the information. The proposal date is from today. Number we can change if we'd like, but scrolling down to the pricing section, this is where we would add all of the information, all of the line items for this particular proposal. So in this case, for the purposes of today's webinar, it's a photography business. So we'll add in a 4-hour session here. And as well as that, we'll also add in some lighting rig setup fee there. So we've got a 2-line item proposal here, total of $233.75. Now from here, we do also have the option of our notes and our terms, similar to an invoice or an estimate here, where you can enter in the notes. Now this will be a one-time field for this proposal only, or terms which will be set and saved for the next estimate or proposal. So on to the newer features here, we have the ability to add a section. You'll notice the option above and below pricing. They do the same thing, just depending on where you want it to be located, but by clicking on it, you have an option of either a blank section or a few title options for you. But if you choose blank section here, you'll notice you have the ability to add a heading and then add some text, including bulleted lines, numbered line items, or inserting images. And then if we have multiple of these, they can be dragged in a specific order, so they can be changed if you need to. And clicking the trash can to remove any existing ones. And again, they can be added above or below the pricing section. And we have one other key feature, simply the ability at the bottom here to add attachments. So clicking on there, choosing the file or files from your computer locally that you'd like to attach, and they'll be sent along with the proposal itself. And at the top, as I mentioned in the beginning, we have the ability to request an e-signature. So by clicking on Request e-signature, and like I said, this is unique to a proposal specifically. So when we click on e-signature, we'll have the option here to enable, click done, and by scrolling down, we'll see that the option is now there. So when we send the proposal, this e-signature will be required from the client before they can accept the proposal. So for the purposes of today's webinar, we're going to just save this so you can see that the proposal will show up in our list, and just So we can, under bulk actions, we'll go and we can, now we won't be able to accept it, as you can see here, because it has an e-signature on it. So in this case, the client will need to accept this via an e-signature before we can continue further. So that about sums up proposals. So I did want to also show you a feature we have here under our invoices. You now have the ability to set up retainers. So simply by clicking on retainers underneath here, you'll see we have a couple of retainers already created. One for, again, the client John Doe that we had. If we click on that, you'll see all of the information for this retainer at a glance. So we can see it's 100 hours per month. This period started on the 16th of September. It's going to be invoiced on the 16th of October, and the retainer fee is $2,000. So in this case, you can see we've tracked a couple of hours between September 16th and October 15th. That will show on the graph here the days we entered those hours. We'll see the invoices here, so any previous invoices that have been sent via this retainer. So we can see the previous one sent on the 16th. So this one would be for this time period specifically, for which we're tracking time towards. Clicking over to time entries, we can see the two entries that we would have from the September 16th and 23rd, where they are showing the total hours, the 19 hours we've billed so far. And from the top here, we can always click edit to go into the retainer creation page here to change any of the settings for the retainer, or clicking on edit terms to change the terms themselves. But we'll back out of this already made retainer here so that I can show you a new retainer. So by clicking on new retainer, we'll bring up the terms section like we saw before, but this is where we can create a new retainer from scratch. So the ability to choose the client, setting the fees per period, so the amount each individual invoice will be, how many hours ideally you'll be working in that period, the start date for the retainer, the rate at which excess hours will be billed, and we also can choose the retainer period, whether that's yearly, weekly, monthly, or a custom date to which you can set the specific number of days, how many we are sending, whether that is infinite until we stop it, or if there's a set number of time periods that we're going through, we can limit that here. And we have the option to either send the invoices on their given day, or create draft invoices, in which case when this date rolls around, the invoice will be created as a draft so you can review it before sending it. So these are all the different options you have, which will bring you to the retainer itself and where you can verify everything and save. But in this case, we don't need to recreate a retainer, so we'll back out without saving changes. But again, this is where it shows up, and you'll have all the quick information about your retainer at a glance. Next time it'll be invoiced, and all that information within the line here. So, now that we've seen a few of these things, I did say I would mention a few of our new communication features with you as well. So from invoices, the best way to show this here is you do have the ability to communicate directly with your client via the invoice itself. So by clicking on invoices, and we'll head to just any of the given invoices we have, we'll go to invoice 2088 here. And at the top, you can see the most recent status, view the history, which will show us all the different instances that have happened as this invoice has gone on. And if we choose to send a message, we'll see the client will actually receive this message via email, and then we can use this little chat screen here to send emails back and forth to the client regarding this specific invoice, so that way all the communication can be kept in one specific place. Beyond that, what we also have, if you head to your projects, in terms of communicating with your clients, we'll head to this specific project for this project here, and you'll see we have a Discuss tab, which is similar to that history for the invoices that I showed you before, where we can post an update for this project, and we can also attach images or files, so things that can show your progress, and this will be available to all of the team members on the project as well as the client for the particular project, so we can keep everybody in the loop about what's going on, post updates, pictures, updates, or any kind like that. So that's a great way of keeping your clients up to date about either invoices or the projects themselves. And one more final thing here, if we head back to our invoices that I did want to show you. In this particular case, after all this, the client needs to see their invoice again. For some reason, they didn't get the email, or for whatever reason, we need to send a link to it. Under this More Actions button, if you click there, we can scroll down, create a shareable link, which will then allow us to copy this link to our clipboard, attach it in an email, text message, anything we might need, so that way you can send it along to your client and they can access the invoice from wherever they are. So that about concludes my portion here of all the new things that you'll see. So I hoped that you learned some things new, and if you have any questions at all, make sure to reach out to our handy support team. We've got the settings gear here, need help, and you can either give us a call, send us an email, or view the Help Center online. So thanks again for watching, and I hope everybody has a great day.
Hello everyone, my name is Justin and I'll be guiding you through some new features that you'll see on the new FreshBooks. FreshBooks has always made sending invoices easy, and the new FreshBooks is no exception. When clicking on Invoices and New Invoices on the right-hand side, you will see an invoice template waiting for you to enter in your details. Like before, you will select a client and add an item. One thing you will notice is a due date located here. This button will allow you to set a due date, allowing your clients more time to pay. By clicking on this, you will notice 3 options you can choose. Option 1 is date of issue. This will allow you to set up the due date on the date the invoice goes out. This is similar to how FreshBooks Classic created invoices. As soon as the invoice is sent out, the status of the invoice will change to overdue. Option number 2 is the after option. This will allow you to set up a due date in the future. You can type in a number here and hit save, and the client will have until then to make a payment. I will select 30 days. If you have a specific due date in mind, I would select Custom, as this will show you a calendar view to where you can select the date you would like your invoice to be due. It is important to note that whichever option you select here, this will be the default on the next invoice. So if your next invoice has a different due date, make sure to edit the due date before sending the invoice. The next feature you will see is the Customize Invoice Style option on the right-hand side here. By clicking on this, you'll be able to change the invoice template to either Simple or Modern. Simple will show your logo and client information across the top, as Modern will allow a banner and show your client information along the right-hand side. In addition, you'll be able to adjust the colors of your headers and adjust the font to either Modern or Classic. The last new feature in the invoice you can select is how the client pays you. By clicking on the Accept Online Payments, you can choose to have the owner pay you either by credit card or ACH. To set this up, make sure that the appropriate payment options are selected. Finally, you can select this button to allow clients to make partial payments, or not select it to only allow your clients to make the payment in full for the invoice. Now we'll go ahead and create this invoice and send it. Finally, now that the invoice is created, it's time to accept a payment. Like before, the client can enter in their credit card information when they receive the invoice by email. If you receive a payment outside of FreshBooks, you can also still go into the invoice and mark the invoice as paid manually. To do this, find the invoice in question and click on it. Click More Actions, add a payment, and fill out the information accordingly. A new add-on to taking payments is our advanced payment method. To set this up, you'll want to go to your settings, manage online payments, and make sure that this toggle is turned on. If this toggle is turned on, you'll be able to click on invoices, find the invoice in question that you would like to pay, and click charge card on the top right-hand side here. All you need to do is fill in the information, click charge card, and FreshBooks will take the payment from the client's credit cards for you. This is an add-on feature, so additional charges may apply. Invoices aren't the only other thing that received an upgrade with the new FreshBooks. One thing you might be familiar with is creating an estimate, which you can do by clicking Estimate over here. Let's go ahead and create one really quickly. Like before, you're just going to fill in the information of what you want to provide in your estimate. Choose a client, choose an item, and then I'm going to send this off. One great new feature is that when the estimate is accepted, you can convert this estimate to an invoice by clicking on the estimate, more actions, and convert to invoice. If you need to make some edits, you can totally do that here. Send the invoice off, and then it will be ready to be paid. Finally, the last big new feature we'll be going over in the new FreshBooks is checkout links. Checkout links allow you to create unique payment links to collect online payments without needing to make an invoice first. To set this up, click on Payments, click on Checkout Links, and New Checkout Link on the top right-hand side. You will fill in the information. This is what the client is going to be paying with that checkout link, and you're going to click Create. Once this is created, you will see a link here, which you can copy and paste into an email or a text message, or however you'd like to send this to the client. From here, they'll be able to put their credit card information and make a payment fast. If you ever do want to see these payments, you can either go here and click on 0 payments, which might say 1, or you can click on Payments, Checkout Links, and get to the same spot. I hope you guys learned some new things about the new FreshBooks. We will be going over more of these in a series of features that we've added to the new FreshBooks, so please take a look at the next video. Hi, my name is Justin, and welcome to today's demo on how to set up the FreshBooks Chrome extension Time Tracker and how this integrates with Trello. To start, visit the Chrome Web Store, find the FreshBooks Time Tracker, and add this to your Chrome browser by clicking Add to Chrome. Once done, you can use the extension by viewing the extension toolbar, clicking on the FreshBooks logo, and entering in your username and password for FreshBooks. From here, you'll be able to track time no matter which website you are visiting. Now that the Chrome Time Tracker is added, we can take a look at how it integrates with Trello. When logging into Trello, click on a board and add a service. When you click on the service settings, you will notice a time tracking option on the bottom right-hand side. From now on, you can use either option, such as using the Chrome extension or tracking in Trello to log your services directly into FreshBooks. Once done, you can go into your project in FreshBooks and you'll notice that the time has now synced. I hope you learned a lot from today's demo, and as always, if you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out. Stay fresh!
Hello everyone, my name is Renee and I'd like to welcome you to the new FreshBooks platform. New FreshBooks was built from the ground up by taking into consideration all of the things we learned when we built classic FreshBooks. I'm going to walk you through how to keep your books organized on a new FreshBooks platform. With new ways to manage your financial health and track the ins and outs of every dollar, this makes it easy to know exactly where your business stands. We will cover how to track income from every source, how to easily switch between businesses, advanced report settings, and how to add multi-currency expenses. So let's jump right into it. First, we're going to look at the Other Income feature. This is a brand new feature located under the Payments tab that allows you to keep an accurate record of all of your income streams, specifically non-invoice income. Under the Other Income tab, we're just going to go to the plus icon, and you can easily select the source of the income, select the category. We want to put in the grand total of the payment that we received. Based on where you're located, you can also apply taxes. We want to put in the payment method, and you can also put in any notes or description in this section here, and then select the currency of the payment that you received. Once that's done, we're just going to go ahead and save it. And there you have it. With a few simple clicks, you can easily keep track of any other income coming into your business that wasn't connected to an invoice. Next, we're going to look at a new way on how you can track multiple businesses in FreshBooks. Head over to the settings gear and you'll see the Manage Businesses icon. So this allows you to see all of the businesses you have connected in FreshBooks. You no longer need to log in or out of the account or open multiple windows. You can toggle from one business to the other easily, as well as add another business and have everything organized under the one login for your FreshBooks account. This is a great feature if you have a lot of businesses that you need to keep track of. We also have another new feature that allows you to easily set up your fiscal year end for your business. This is located in the company profile. As you can see, I currently have it set to September 30th. You can go ahead and change that to any date that you need it to be, and then you can save it. This can be updated at any time, and once you set your fiscal year end, this will reflect on your reports as well. So now that we have it set to December 30th, let's pop over and see how it looks like on the reports. In the report section, we're going to head over to the Invoice Details report. And here's where you can see the improved advanced report settings that we have. Currently, it's set to my current fiscal year. I can select a calendar year as well as a custom date range if I need to. You can select multiple clients that you want to look at for the report, as well as multiple invoice statuses. So it makes it very easy to customize the report based on the information that you want to see. Simply click on Apply, and you will see all of the information in the report for the selected clients, as well as the selected invoice status. And there you have it. So lastly, we're going to go ahead and look at how to keep track of multi-currency expenses in FreshBooks. In the Expenses section, we're going to look at an existing expense and how you can easily change the currency of that expense. So currently, this expense is set up for Canadian dollars. We're going to go to Edit and go to Currency, and we can easily choose from the list which currency this expense is for. So if you're following the receipt that you have for the client or for the expense, you can simply select the currency, fill out the receipt the way that it is in your hand, and then you'll notice that it updates the currency there for you. So you no longer need to worry about manual conversions before adding the expense. You can simply just put in the currency from there. We're going to go ahead and save it. And there you have it. Those are the new and improved ways of how you can keep your books organized on a new FreshBooks platform. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care.
Hello, my name is Justin, a support specialist here with FreshBooks, and today we'll be going over our receipt scanner for expenses. This is designed to help owners like yourself effortlessly keep your books accurate and organized. This will save you time from manual data entry and ensure that you're always on top of your expenses so that you're always ready for tax time. When using FreshBooks on a computer, under the Expense tab, click New Expense, upload receipt, and choose a PDF, JPEG, or PNG image from your computer and follow the prompts to upload your receipt. If you are using a mobile device, after clicking the Expense tab, you can click on the camera icon to either take a picture of your receipt right then and there, or click the image icon to select an image from your gallery that you may have already taken. In addition to uploading your expense images directly on your device, you can also email your receipts to your personal email, which will automatically gather the receipt information to be reviewed later. Your personal email can be found on the browser version of FreshBooks by clicking on Expenses, Uploads, and viewing the email address in the banner above. This is especially useful if you collaborate with employees who submit expenses, or if your merchant offers receipts by email. One tip I might suggest is either having you or your employees save the email address as a contact on your device for easy access. It is also important to note that each email should only contain one receipt. Once the receipt is uploaded, either in FreshBooks directly or by using the custom email, you'll now need to review and submit the expenses before the expenses get officially created. On a computer or browser, you can access the review page by clicking Expenses, Uploads, and Review beside each expense. Reviewing expenses can also be done on your mobile device by clicking the Review Receipt banner located on the Expense tab. On this review page, you will see fields pertaining to different information that FreshBooks can pull from your receipt. This includes a merchant, a category, date, currency, tax amount, grand total, and description. Though we do try to pull as much information from the receipt as possible, some information may need to be filled out by you manually. The review process is a great opportunity to make sure that the information is accurate, and once you are satisfied, click Create to finalize the expense. Thank you for joining me in today's demo on how to use the FreshBooks Receipt Scanner. My name is Justin, and stay fresh.